African father in America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. African tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze.
You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javan Okello, live from Seattle, Washington, USA.
Thank you so much for joining me, for this wonderful session here in the Africa Day Club. Today we are going to be talking about crypto mining in Africa, and in a moment I am going to be joined by, a lot of experts when it comes to crypto mining, and especially when it comes to Africa. So today we are going to learn about, what is crypto mining, and also, what is crypto. We are going to learn about the state of crypto mining in Africa in general. And I'm just excited that Kwasi is here and Jerry is also here. And, we are also expecting some other, special guests that are going to share with us so much knowledge. So I want to invite you to, share the link to this room. Feel free to clip the nuggets that you get from this room, and also feel free to join us on stage so that you can contribute. Kwasi, can you hear me? How are you doing today? Okay. Kwasi, I hope you're doing great. Thank you for being here, and Aminata, thank you also for being here. I'm not sure if I was audible earlier. I just want to welcome everyone who is in the room for today's conversation. And, my name is Simon Okello. I'm in Seattle, Washington. I'm from Kenya originally. And, every Tuesday we've been holding this space here in the Africa Day Club. And our hope is that we can help demystify crypto in Africa by bringing, members of our community across the world that are deeply involved in the crypto field, so that we can learn from them, and so that we can demystify and, and encourage our community members both in the diaspora and back in Africa to engage more and be a part of this amazing community. So I'm going to pass the microphone to Kwasi to quickly introduce himself, and then Aminata, and then Richmo, and then Jerry. And then after that, we'll see who else will have joined us, and we will begin the conversation from there. Thank you so much. Kwasi, how are you?
I hear you.
For a moment, this is Simon speaking. For a moment, I don't think my audio was working either. So I wonder if you can hear me now. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay, great.
Yeah, we can hear you, Simon. I think Kwasi, something might be wrong with Kwasi's. We can't hear you, Kwasi, if you're speaking.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Brother Simon. Thank you, everybody in the room. It's a pleasure to be here once again. And back to you, Simon.
Thank you, Kwasi, for being here. I wonder if you could get closer to your mic just a little bit, and then I also, in introducing yourself, maybe when we do this round, Kwasi, just share with us, a little more about why today's topic is important to you, and then after we hear introductions from everyone, we'll come back to just diving deep, into, what is your involvement with crypto mining in Africa, and how can, people who are just hearing about it for the first time take it, So I'll give you the mic just one more time for you to take a minute, and then Aminata, and then Richmo, and Jerry, and Tess, and everybody else in the room. Thank you so much for joining us. Kwasi.
Oh, thank you, Simon. How is it sounding now?
You know, it's sounding a little better, so I would suggest that you just keep going. But one thing is, if you tap there are three buttons at the top right corner of your screen. If you tap them, you'll be able to see a drop-down menu that allows you to enhance your audio quality. So you can choose the high audio quality, and it might sound just a little better, especially because we are recording this for the podcast. Thank you so much.
All right, all right.
It's so good now. Thank you so much.
Awesome, awesome. Yes, I am Kwasi Kabiro, and I live here in Seattle, Washington. I am from Kenya, and I love cryptocurrency, you know. I've been mining Bitcoin for almost a year now. Um, and what I've been using is they call them the ASIC miners. I use a miner from Bitmain, um, which pretty much makes around $3 a day. Used to make $5 a day, but now it's making $3 a day. Uh, and consumes almost around 100 something. Sorry, no, around $40 of uh, electricity a month. Um, so I would say right now it's not profitable as it was when I was mining, when it was giving me $5 a day. And of course, the inflation has not done us any justice. So in terms of the electricity, but at the moment, Intel, they've come out to say that they will be producing um, uh, miners mining pretty much mining chips which are going to be energy efficient, and they say these are going to be 1,000 times better than the graphic cards that they are using people are using right now. But I also read that you cannot compare these chips with a graphics card because these chips are going to be mining Bitcoin, and you don't use the graphics card to mine Bitcoin per se. So, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be a game changer in the market. We'll discuss more as we go. And back to you, Simon.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kwasi, for being here and for sharing with us, just initially, your perspectives on today's topic. Aminata, how are you doing? And where are you joining us from? And, what are some of your initial thoughts about crypto mining in Africa? Why is it important to you? Why is today's topic important to you?
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Aminata. I'm calling in from Virginia. And so we've been having these rooms about crypto mining in Africa, and I do love cryptocurrency myself. I kind of wish I purchased back in 2018 when I found. But for me, I like to educate myself before I do anything. And I think crypto mining, I'm trying to be like Kwasi soon. I want to start mining possibly because just for the experience and the knowledge behind it. And I think, there's been a lot going on, like Kwasi mentioned, with the news, with the SEC in the United States, what's going on with the truckers in Canada. And I just got news today that Binance, the exchange, they were speaking to a lot of university students in Nigeria, which is huge. So I think crypto mining, like even just saying that today was kind of like, oh my goodness. And now we're going to talk about crypto mining in Africa, and Binance was in Nigeria today, which I think is good news. And I think, soon for me, once I have the time, I will start mining in crypto. But my goal is to really, I think cryptocurrency is so powerful because, when banks are closed, crypto is open. And I think it can eliminate a lot of the costs in Africa. Because as I mentioned before, in a lot of the French-speaking countries, we don't even have our own currency. But I'm pretty sure crypto can eliminate that. Seriously. So that's just my opinion. And I love crypto. I really think it's changing the world. I'm learning more and more every single day. And I'm just happy to be part of this room to talk about crypto mining for Africa. And thank you. I'm done speaking.
Thank you so much, Aminat. I just love that, and I'm so excited about all our speakers and special guests. I see, Joshua Ndege here, who is one of our really really special guests, and also a father figure to many of us. Karibu sana, and maybe we'll go to Richmo now. Richmo, just introduce yourself, share with us where you're joining us from, and why today's topic is important to you, crypto mining in Africa. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Simon, and great moderation, great topic. And to their fellow moderators, glad to share the stage with you. And also to the listeners, it's always a great opportunity to learn from each other. You're constantly learning. Like Kwasi, I'm also in the mining space. Apparently, it looks like we're using the same system. I'm using the Antminer S19J, the ASIC Pro, and which averages about $20 roughly each day. That's how much I'm getting. And then I have a collaboration with another colleague who we ended up getting 2 other units, and I just want to see how we can collaborate. He's also from the continent. Our strategy is first have the machines in a warehouse. It's a green technology, so our electricity is pretty much like zero cost. Our return on investment on each equipment, we estimate when Bitcoin climbs, and right about this season, we are seeing the numbers not where we want to see, but still the gigahash in what we used to calculate the mining uh, increases. When Bitcoin drops, the hash rates for mining increases to give us leverage. And so it's still a win-win for me. I consider that as long as I'm mining, it's an investment. I'm looking at it as an investment. So no financial advice first and foremost, but as also Aminata has mentioned, do your due diligence to find out what works for you, because there are different systems out there. And so what brings me into this room is the collective thoughts and the collective ideas that we want to see our continent um, in the same table when it comes to crypto and Bitcoin, especially the blockchain technology. Hoping to see more innovation coming out from these spaces, and how can we better educate so that we have mass adoption. And once mass adoption is achieved, we can therefore now see more of us in these spaces, because then it kind of eliminates the individualistic concept, and we work as a collective. We're able to get a lot accomplished. I always say it's like programming. Those that program now are descendants of, you know, patriarchs who set time to develop specific code, and that code has evolved over time, and therefore there's no boastful mindsets. And so when I see this space, I'm always encouraged to be here, Simon, and it's always a privilege. So that's my take on that. I'm in the NFT space, trying to see how much I write music and how I can collaborate that in NFT, and the ability of owning my craft, the creative ability of having my art or community art represent us, and no piracy of any sort. So Richmo, and done speaking for now.
Thank you so much, Richmo. I just appreciate your presence and your contribution so far. Let's go to Jerry. Jerry, how are you? And share with us why today's topic is important to you, where you're joining us from, and just your involvement with crypto mining in Africa, until this moment. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes. Good afternoon, Simon. Good afternoon to good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone in the space. My name is Jerry. I'm all the way from Chicago, Illinois, but by lineage coming from Ghana, specifically in Kumasi, where my father grew up. And really, as far as just crypto mining in general, so that is something that I've been back and forth with, just as far as that I've heard it's out there, have heard the benefits of it, from those who are minors, but personally have not truly delved into that delved into that realm with everything. And overall, I'm just here happy to learn as well as everyone else about like just the different moving pieces involved with mining. But as far as just where I would see myself into the mix of everything, I would just love to at least learn just to do a bit of mining on my own. But on top of that, it's not a big priority, but at the same time, would love to just lend a hand any way I can. With that, thank you all, and I yield my time.
Thank you so much, Jerry. When you speak, it reminds me of my own situation. I'm quite far in the learning process and even my engagement with crypto in general. So if you're in the room and this is a new topic to you, just know that we are exactly in the same boat. Hey Tess, how are you? And share with us why today's topic is important to you and also where you're joining us from. I think Tess is a little. Hey Tess.
Hi, greetings to everybody and peace to the room. My name is Tess, originally from Kenya, Florida. And so, in brief, the reason why I'm interested in cryptocurrency is just like other speakers have mentioned, I want to be able to be at that table, crypto mining in Africa, and not just be a bystander, a couple of years down the road. So I'm very appreciative of these conversations, whereby mostly I'm a student, when these conversations are taking place. And also, I might not be able to speak as much today because I'm going to be on the road soon. So I thank everybody for their time and attention in advance.
Yes, Tess. Thank you again for your support and just the energy you've put behind this weekly session. It's truly appreciated. Now I want to welcome our dear brother Joshua Ndege. Joshua, how are you? And where are you joining us from? And also, why is today's topic of Bitcoin crypto mining in Africa important to you? Thank you for making the time. And also, by the way, I know there's another guest that you had invited to join us. Feel free to just unmute and introduce them after you have introduced yourself.
Well, thank you very much. My name is Joshua Ndege. Fortunately, I was introduced to this space by my own daughter, Priska, which is my daughter. And I would like actually not to say much today because I have my mentor, right? Someone who has actually made me understand blockchain, Bitcoin, and actually introduced me to mining. He taught me how to set up a rig. He actually forced me to make up one. He believed that I could do it, and he just got me the parts. And I'm happily now mining because of my friend Ginny, who is here with us. And I would like to hand over this moment to Ginny Chandler. I will actually put his link on LinkedIn. You can read so much, much more about him. He is a computer scientist for quite some time. He has developed a system that have competed with the system by IBM. I know he has a special need to that. So, Ginny, can you take up the mic and speak?
Thank you, Brother Joshua. How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Gene Chandler. I'm speaking today from Howell, Michigan, my home. I met Joshua while pursuing some business opportunities in Tanzania, and we've grown quite close over the last couple of years. We're now also working together in the crypto mining space. A little about myself. I have a computer science degree from the University of Michigan, and I've been in the computer software business for about 30 years. And about the last 5 years or so, I've also been heavily involved in the crypto space, including crypto mining. I started with Bitcoin mining, ASIC system mining, as well as cloud mining in 2017. And then I also primarily mine Ethereum and similar GPU-based mining equipment. And over the years, I've built rigs for friends and family, and I've done several different crypto projects for business associates. And during that time, I learned and self-taught how to build GPU-based crypto mining equipment. And in the last 2 years or so, of course, the space has really grown a lot. There's been a lot of interest, and I've expanded my business not only from the software side, but also to the side for creating and building crypto mining rigs. And that part of my business has now grown significantly in the last couple of years. And I have also developed a mining pool. The name of our mining pool is miningmadness.com. If you would like to check it out, we have about 300 miners on the pool, and I assist them not only by supplying equipment and know-how, but also with cryptocurrency topics in general. And I'm pleased to be here today. And if I can assist you in any way, feel free to ask me anything.
Thank you so much, Jeannie, for being here today. We will be asking you a lot of questions because it's really a privilege to, have someone of your knowledge and expertise and just the experiences that you are, presenting to our conversation today is just incredible. So we will come back to you and Joshua in just a moment, but I'll go ahead and introduce and pass the microphone to Peter so that he can also introduce himself. Just share with us where you're joining us from. Why is today's topic important to you? Thank you so much. And also any involvement that you have directly with crypto mining in Africa. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Simon. My name is Peter, and I'm a data scientist from Nairobi, Kenya. I'm joining you from Nairobi. Of course, the topic is very important. And as a data scientist, you look at this in different areas. You understand now mining as a verification tool for any token or any coins in the entire blockchain, because we are going to a tokenized system or a tokenized economy, whereby everything can be tokenized or everything can be put value. And that's one of the 5 aspects of blockchain. Blockchain, I think it has immutability, tokenization, peer-to-peer and verification, of course, among others. But most important, I think the topic today focus on the tokenization. And that one, I think currently we are using, of course, nodes, computer verification patterns. However, it will come, I think, in 3 perspectives. That one that will be purely public, like, for example, Bitcoin, that will be used peer-to-peer and different computers. There's someone which will be both public and private. You can participate in that mining specifically for both public and private. And there are mines which will be specifically private owned, whereby the specification of the rig will be really specified. Of course, the checking system, the licensing will be really key for you to participate in that kind of mining arena. So, of course, the biggest challenge we're still facing is energy, and you understand that more and more is being put on the GPUs. I think we'll be focusing most on the GPUs from 2022 onwards, because we expect that GPU to carry data in different aspects, both clearly visual data and also the one that can be stored in the metaverse and interact with different layers and different points. So opportunity for mining will going to be varied from simplicity, the way like the one we're using for of course for Bitcoin, and to a big complex where it would be just institution-based mining, whereby for you to participate in a certain economy or in a certain system and participate in a mining system, in that you have to be an institution and you have maybe to be authorized to do such a thing and stuff like that, because we are going to the big data and some of them will need to be stored in big quantities and be available on demand basis. So you understand also blockchain is going to affect different levels of the economy, from the insurance system, banking system, especially supply chain in Africa, because we'll need to map a product from the factory to the consumer, and also we need to give information to the factory to produce less, depending on the demand and supply, because we'll have the data collected at every different points of the production cycle, and that data will be immutable. It cannot be destroyed, so it has to be stored and be reviewed, and the smart contract will just be generated automatically for the ease of business. So it's an interesting topic that we are going to. And if you put now the new platforms that are coming, of course, Web 3.0 is a big thing. Of course, peer-to-peer networking, this is key part of the Web 3.0 and key part of the blockchain system. And any cryptocurrency will be running to peer-to-peer computing. And that one alone also is just going to disrupt the field in different aspects. So as much as we're going to focus on the cryptocurrency, don't focus specifically on the other parts, bigger part of the blockchain that also offer very interesting parts. You can also explore that one. But today I'm just here to learn and to hear more from, I think, Jean and Joshua about the mining processes. Thank you very much. I yield my mic.
Thank you so much, Peter, for being here and for just sharing with us a little bit about yourself and your background when it comes to crypto mining in Africa. It's always a pleasure learning from you every week. Hey Phil, how are you doing today, and where are you joining us from, and why is crypto mining in Africa important to you?
Hey Simon, thanks for this platform. Incredible people. I'm so happy that this room is here. We can actually talk about solutions to help all of us, especially from Africa or wherever you are in different parts of the world. But I just want to reiterate what Peter was saying. I think it's much bigger than just one platform, one path. There's so many options, especially with Web3. And but I'm based here in Los Angeles. I'm originally from Kenya, and I'm an architecture designer, and very excited about how things are moving, especially in the metaverse with the NFT game experience. I'm actually creating something, and this is something I think I'd encourage everyone to do. If you have something or an idea, create something and put it on the blockchain. And one of the things I love about this is finally, for once in our entire kind of world, we're going to have people from all over the world, especially in Africa, who are going to have ownership and wealth creation. This is where now 100% of what you create goes to you. It's not like where we have coffee, for example. You have coffee manufactured in parts of Africa or in different parts of the world, and then once they get to the ship, a higher percentage of the profit only goes to the people who sell the product, as opposed to a higher percent going to the producers of the of the creation of the wealth of the crop of the coffee, for example. Of course, revenue and royalties, is something that's huge. I think there's been a lot of inventions that have been made, have been stolen, and a lot of creations that have been made that haven't been utilized by the creators. So I think ownership to me is one of the big ones when it comes to crypto, or it comes to the blockchain experience. So I just wanted to share that. But I'm super excited about this whole venture, and most importantly, for finally Africa can actually utilize 100% of its profits to its people, and the average person can be able to have an opportunity, to have a chance in this game of life to experience things and also make a better life for themselves, as opposed to someone taking all the profits and utilizing it for themselves. So just that idea to me is really powerful. And also having a voice in the international community. For example, a lot of people get suppressed, things like elections and things of that nature will have fair exposure to to everyone's experiences. So I just want to share that with everyone. Thank you so very much. Um, and thanks, Simon. I'll chime in much later in the conversation. Thank you.
Hey Phil, thank you again so much for all the amazing work that you do. I spent, Phil and I wanted to spend about 30 minutes looking at some of his NFT projects, and we ended up spending about 2 hours or even more. And I can't wait for you to, make a lot of the work that you're doing public so that we can all support you. And one of the ways that I would actually love for us to build this space is, to really, really deepen our understanding of what projects each one of us is doing and find ways of supporting each other's initiative. So now I want us to actually hear from Lavina, who is an amazing contributor to this space. Thank you for being here. Just share with us where you're joining us from and, what's your involvement with crypto mining in Africa, or what are your thoughts, just initial thoughts about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Simon. Hi, everyone. So I'm known as the AI mom who speaks Africa. And by the title, very much involved in all aspects of technology. So my love for it spans, into the space of blockchain and, including the hardware section of the mining of cryptos. So what do I think about it? There's absolute use cases within it. There are things from a regulatory perspective that are being now supported when it comes to crypto mining specific in Africa. And I think from a hardware perspective, with Intel's launch of their new chip for crypto mining, that's going to add a lot more sort of weight and value add. In terms of its application, absolutely, I think, getting the entire ecosystem or supply chain cycles correct within multiple industries is definitely something we could do right. And my involvement in the space is I'm a speaker as well as an advisor to a few startups within the blockchain space. Thanks. Back to you, Simon.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lavina, for being here with us. Hi, Ella. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I really enjoyed our conversation yesterday, and I'm really excited also that you made the time to join us for today's conversation. Share with us where you are joining us from, your involvement with crypto mining in Africa, and also why today's topic is important to you.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. And yes, I'm super excited about all the wonderful ways that we hopefully will be able to collaborate in the near future. So yes, I should start out. Ella is my name on here. My actual name is Esther Anglade. I currently lead channel or all types of indirect sales for offensive security. At the moment, I'm a long time crypto enthusiast, I guess you could say, and involved in the crypto community since 2014. I don't have any active projects in Africa at the moment. However, I am closely aligned with a few organizations that are, either through partnership, through my professional organization with OFSAC, or personal interaction. One of those organizations being Begin, which we had discussed, Simon. And I'd be happy to put you guys in touch with some of the organizers over there, which that group in particular has a shared mission of educating the people in the crypto space on the continent in Africa. For me personally, crypto and NFTs in particular present a unique opportunity. I'm part of a team right now that is looking to build Web3 tools to get ahead of the business needs for what essentially will become the Web3 metaverse space, right? I also have my own independent projects, some which are university organized, others which are independent, scholarship-based, scholarly initiatives, mainly to help demonstrate utility for crypto, as well as build other types of policy type work. I know I'm being vague. I apologize. A lot of this is being done in real time, so it's still early, and more information will follow. Aside from that, I'm actually in New Jersey, so I'm in the United States. I'm based out of New Jersey. I'm Haitian descent, first generation American. And yeah, I guess that's it. I said a lot.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you again. Thank you for being here, and thank you for just bringing your knowledge and experience to this space. Before I go to Jakumi, I just want to welcome everyone who is here with us for today's conversation here in the Africa Day Club. We are talking about crypto mining in Africa. This is part 2 of maybe a 2-part or even a 3-part. It might end up being a 3-part conversation, because we just need to go a little bit deeper and also identify synergies and alignments and ways that out of our conversation today we can make things better for Africa in general. So we want to go to Jakumi, and I know that we have amazing members here in the audience, of course including some of our special guests here. I see Jay and MK and Kenneth. I do want to do just one round with our moderators, because we've been planning and preparing for today's session for about 2 weeks now. So for the moderators, for everyone on stage, just think about the question, if you are presenting what crypto mining is to potential potential investors in Kenya, or people who can invest in it in Kenya, but they don't know about it. How would you explain it? How would you explain it? That's one part of the question. But then if you want to get the buy-in of the general public in Africa, whether it's the youths, because the youths are the ones who are going to align with this the most. If we go by this weekend Super Bowl here in the US, we all saw the ads that were very much in support of cryptocurrency. So how do you explain it to our children? So those are the 2 main questions that I want you all to think about. But for now, we will go to Jakumi. And for everyone in the audience, besides our moderators, this is the round that will exclude you, because we just want to go a little bit deeper. And where's Jeannie? Jeannie, we also want you to participate in this round. So I just moderated you to make it easy for me to see you visually. So I'll do that, but in the meantime, I want you to share with us. Please make sure you're sharing the link to this room with 3 to 5 people within Clubhouse. And also, the link at the top of the room is how you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm live streaming this conversation so that we can get it to others who cannot be in the room on Clubhouse with us today. So I will pass it to you, Jakumi. Introduce yourself and share with us, what your involvement with crypto mining in Africa or in general is, and why today's conversation is important to you. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, my name is Jakumi Randolph, and I'm a father of 5, a husband, and I'm a crypto enthusiast. But I'm also a participator in the largest market, in the largest financial market in the world, right, foreign exchange market. And getting into that market, I found my way into Bitcoin, and it's become one of the dominating factors in my life right now. And then that also led into other cryptos, as well as some mining. But the funny thing is, getting involved in the space, before I was involved in the space, I saw a lot of enthusiasm around crypto in Africa, and that was through CNBC Africa, a channel which I had never seen before, and happened to catch it on YouTube, and saw, people that look like me talking about crypto and talking about finances and talking about the foreign exchange market, and that's kind of how I got my start. So the funny thing is, here in the U.S., where I'm based out of, you still don't quite see that enthusiasm, and you still don't see faces like ours. So, being part of the Black Bitcoin Billionaires just lets people know that, there are Black people in this space, and that we are contributing, to moving this thing we call crypto, Bitcoin particularly, moving this space forward. So there are people here, and we're here to help, educate. And so that's, one of our primary goals is to get everybody up and running, understanding what this crypto is and what it can do for them. So I'm here, I'm listening.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I interviewed, Jakumi recently, and I've known Jakumi for quite a while, especially on Clubhouse. So just being able to spend time interviewing you for the Daily African Proverbs allowed me to learn about your involvement, not just in the crypto space, but in so many other areas of life. So thank you again for making the time. So now we are going to do round two. We are going to start with you, Kwasi. Just, in 2 minutes or 3 at the most, just share with us why, number one, if you are explaining this to potential investors, because for me, based on what I've learned so far, we truly need to encourage more people in Africa to invest in crypto mining, in the continent. And also we need to encourage people of African descent who are living across the diaspora to also invest in this. And so that's why I'm asking this question. If you're explaining it to someone who is able to invest in it, how do you do it? And also, if you're explaining this to our children, because for example, Jakumi is actually teaching his children about crypto, and so when I talked to him, I thought of how do I do that with my own children. But really, the future, the next generation in the continent, if you look at the current population in Uganda or Kenya that determine who becomes president if fair elections were held in those countries, it's the youths, the young people. So how would we address them when it comes to crypto mining? Thank you so much, Kwasi. I'll pass you the mic.
Thank you so much, Brother Simon. The thing about mining and how I would explain it, is that you can earn cryptocurrency, without having to put down money for it, pretty much just the investment amount, and then just, sit and recoup your investment and, make money, let your money work for you. And also when you join the mining pools, in a way you secure the network of the crypto you're mining. It becomes more secure, and it's what we need to get decentralized so that we can dictate our financial freedom. And as I've mentioned, now we see Intel is going to come up with a mining chip that probably is going to be cheaper and better than the GPUs we have in the market. It will be an opportunity to get into mining really, and for us who's going to be mining, we have more to do to educate people, and because as we know, even at the moment, people in Africa, most of the people don't know what cryptocurrencies are, and at the same time, we have so much volume coming out of Africa, especially for the peer-to-peer Bitcoin marketplace. But there's still room to educate people so much, in terms of the entire blockchain space, and how they can make money. And we have other ways where you don't have to buy the mining equipment. You can use your money to farm and stake. And we also probably need to look into that, because it brings about the same amount of money you would if you are mining, or even more in some cases. So I think we should also look into farming and staking as part of the mining process, because it's essentially the same thing, just that now you're using your money instead of buying equipment. Thank you, Simon, and Back to you.
Thank you so much, Kwasi. Let's go on to Aminata. Just quickly, Aminata, share with us your perspectives. How would you explain crypto mining to to those two different groups of people? Someone who has the ability to invest in it, and also someone who needs to be invested in it, even in terms of spending time learning about it and beginning to invest that way.
Hi, Simon. I'm so sorry. Can you come back to me? I'm in a meeting and I will respond to the question. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Richmo, what's your perspective on this question?
Yeah, sure. My perspective has always been, like I've mentioned in the past, to talking to two audiences. The mass adoption, and it seems like there are silos, and there'll be a silo of those that are skeptic, but focus with those that initially have done their due diligence, create some form of community. Why is mining a huge advantage? Because it's I look at this at the aspect of growing from, let's for example talk about Web3. We knew internet back in the days as, it was strange to those who didn't know anything about it, but in it was the potential to bring the global landscape into something that was relatable in that internet space. And then we have Web 2, what we are all familiar with, where Google and Apple and all these other, and Amazon, uh, the cloud space that has taken, precedent. But then Web 3 allows us into learning a whole new way to either transact, if it's trade. And when we are early in this space, to anyone who's doing this mining, then you have let's say, the upper hand. But there's still the onus of doing your due diligence to get the bottom line. How does this ecosystem work? Because number one, to me, it is, I will say it's credible. There's a level of transparency. And so once we become well versed in these spaces, and due to the technological aspect of the ledgers and the transactions being so transparent, it will in a way build a level of trust. And I see this as capital right now. Like, there's a huge premium to find a system that is trustworthy. If the fiat systems fluctuate, there's inflation aspects, uh, so does also the crypto space. We will have its fair share. We talked about recently it being just nine years old. It will have its fair share of its ups and downs. But I love the concept. We say we buy the rumor and sell the news. So it puts us at a place where we are in it early as an investor, and your return on investment, as somebody mentioned, it's money working for you. This computations and its algorithm and AI doing its part, and you just knowing what areas are of importance or the use case. And I actually am happy that we have Jean around, because for a while I was trying to find out, moving now from one level of either mining in Bitcoin and seeing Ether, its use case, how much of a demand is being placed on it. I foresee it growing. Again, as I said, no financial advice for anyone. So that ability to forecast and see its usability on it, and also the ownership aspect, those are the two areas that we'll talk about to an investor. To one that's not either familiar or skeptic, I would say, there's still room to learn. No coercion is needed. I was an unbeliever 2 years ago, until the individual who once told me about it showed me their portfolio. And yes, I wanted to become rich immediately, but then I realized I had to go back, find out what is my goal in doing this. So create goals to the ones that are either skeptic, and say, what goals, what financial vehicles are you trying to use in this 21st century? Is it going to be the fiat system? Then yes, there's an alternative. You can do stocks, whether inflation is happening or not. So I tend to believe that the educating aspect and the community aspect are the two key things that I look at. And once I narrow down on that,
I see other nations that are advancing at an elementary level, educating the ones that are coming up about the blockchain systems, whether it's in artificial aspect, because there's a lot of artificial aspects, I believe, in the blockchain systems. And will they be the leaders of tomorrow with a well-versed knowledge of it? Will we be playing catch-up with the ones that are being immersed now to understand the systems? So I strongly believe that there's still a place for both people. It's just that once you get it, run with it and share the knowledge the much you can. Rich Mo, done speaking.
Thank you very much, Rich Mo. Just grateful for that contribution. Jerry, what are your perspectives, briefly, please? Okay, Jerry, we'll come back to you in a moment when you're available. We'll go to Joshua. Joshua.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Simon. I didn't hear you call me. I apologize.
I call Jerry. It's okay though.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'll
Okay.
go on mute again. Thank you. Bye.
No problem. Thank you so much. Hey, Jerry, are you available now, or should I go to Joshua? I just want to make sure. Thank you so much. Okay. Brother Joshua, what are your perspectives, in regards to explaining what, crypto mining is, especially in Africa, to potential investors, and also when explaining it to the youth and the general public, because for something like crypto mining to grow, it needs public mining, and we need to educate people in a more robust way, I believe, so that it can become more mainstream and more normalized, because right now one of the challenges that crypto in general is facing, however good it is the stigma with conning and a lot of negativity that has been associated with it, especially in Africa. So that's part of why we want to educate people during this conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Simon. I will just start by mentioning the issue that you just talked about the scamming, the stigma that is attached to cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin. And I'm not a victim per se, but for quite some times while in Africa, I live in the United States, but as Ginny said, I've been shuttling between United States and Tanzania for quite some time, almost 20 years. There's a big stigma that has been attached to scamming. For example, I'll just talk about my own government in Tanzania, all right? It is illegal. It's illegal to deal in cryptocurrency in whatever shape or form, all right? I worked with the cybersecurity department of the government as a consultant for 5 years, and I've seen people locked up, all right? Because they've just, you find them, they have some hot wallets in their computers, and it's a crime. So there's a lot of stigma that has been deliberately, attached to this. Now, talking from my personal experience, I think the only thing we can do is, as one of my friends just said, said that buy the room and sell the news, all right? We might have just to go ahead, we as the diaspora, come up with ways to help those people who want to learn about mining by making mining hosting services available. And that's the model that I'm pursuing. And actually, my brother Gene has really helped me with that, to try to understand it, market it, and put it up in speed. Why? Because when it comes to the main aspect of electricity and internet connectivity, all right, it is a big problem. For example, there's no way I can mine in Tanzania. Just forget about it. Where, out of 24 hours, you might have power, for 6 hours maximum in a day, and it's so erratic. Not only that, where the cost of electricity is about 12 times of what I pay in Atlanta, Georgia. So that will be impossible. But if at all I would come up or maybe sell the model where I can talk to some of the investors, people who want to invest, telling them that at my friend's Gene's mining pool, miningmadness.com, we have a lot of space. Okay, you can buy some space just to mine. Not only that, we can help them to bring rigs that we can host for them, and just charge them a small percentage. And we're doing some calculation, charging them, 20% is more than enough to run the rig. So I think the only way we can help them right now, based on the political situation in African countries and based on the availability of power and connectivity, for those who can understand, yeah, we can help them. We better come up with something that we can help these people be able to mine remotely. Okay. Not only that, the other problem that I personally have is with age. Okay, I'll be 70 years old next year, and I've been asked by so many young people, "Where did you learn this?" Okay, how can a 69-year-old tell me about cryptocurrency and mining? All right, so there is also that stigma. So that's why young people like you. That's why I asked my daughter to get involved in this, because she's younger, she knows to talk the language, and she'll be able to convince her own generation. So two aspects. The best way I think we can help our people in Africa, all right, to start right away and catch up, all right, is to be able to help them mine remotely. Thank you. And maybe Jim can help also explain more on this, because he's an expert. He's my mentor, actually. I've got to admit, he's the one who has taught me how to mine, taught me what blockchain is all about. I was a skeptic for quite some time.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Joshua. I apologize. I do want to just ask you to, paint for us a picture about, just your story briefly, because I want you to just share with our brothers and sisters who are in our audience a bit of who you are, because I feel that some of your accomplishments, especially for Africa and Tanzania particularly, need to be shared, so that you can inspire some of us to do what you're doing now, when we are almost 70. And then Jean will come right after you.
Oh, you're putting me on a spot, man. What type of achievement? I've been a computer scientist all my life. Okay, I'm an electronic engineer. I get my first degree way back in 1979 in electronics engineering, and a lot of then I came to Michigan. I got my computer science degree way back in 1993, Master of Science Computer Science. So I have dealt with computers all my life. Okay, started with hardware, but mostly I've enjoyed data analytics. And there's a gentleman here who really impressed me, a young man from Nairobi who's a data scientist. We might end up knowing each other and talking some things about that. But I don't see myself like somebody who has achieved much. Maybe I've just inspired a lot of people, but I don't think, what can I say? The way we can help our people is by making them understand and being able to show them, okay? Leading them by example, rather than talking a lot of, people talk a lot nowadays. A lot of young people talk a lot. They talk a lot, okay? They talk a lot. I remember I am a part of a certain blockchain group back home in Tanzania, and they talk about trading, and I introduced mining to them, and I couldn't believe when I literally zoomed a session and showed them a rig that I built from scratch. And can you believe some of them said, maybe you got it from YouTube? How are we sure about what we're showing? There is this African mentality where we don't trust our own people. So the only way we can do that is by us people in the diaspora to be able to do things practically, share it with them, entice them, and make them believe what we're doing. Apart from that, there's so much out there in the social media. There's so much theories out there. Yes, Jim might share with you what we are just discussing this noon news from Intel about coming up with the chip for mining, and we had our own reservation that first of all, it has to be something that is mounted on a GPU, something like that. If it is something that is mounted on a motherboard, it will take us back to the ASICs app. Okay, actually, Jim was telling me about one of the latest. Jim, you said it's 126 core AMD chip that is coming out. All right, that we could use. Actually, it's out there. You can use it right now, but it's expensive. You use it for mining coins like Ethereum and things like that. So I believe that for us, we better be hands-on and share whatever we can do with our hands with our brethren back in Africa. That might easily convince them. But a lot of theories and a lot of words, an African back home will just think you are just one of those scammers. They've had a lot of. Sorry if I didn't answer your question directly, but I don't know specifically what
You
you wanted me
did.
to talk about myself.
You did. You did. You answered it and even gave us extra. I appreciate it a lot. Let's hear from Jeannie now. Jeannie, thank you again for making the time to share with us, your experience and also how your experience impacts, crypto mining in Africa. The question that I was asking earlier, that I've asked the room, especially our moderators today, is, how would you explain crypto mining in Africa to a potential investor who is ready to invest and invest in crypto mining in Africa, whether it's done on the continent or whether it's it's done remotely in the diaspora. And I know that today's session is going to end before we get into the energy challenges that are related to crypto mining. I'm humbly requesting that we focus part 3 on the energy challenges that are presented when it comes to crypto mining, and we will invite some of the people who have found solutions, for next Tuesday's conversation. I was hoping that Moise, who built a solar power station that can actually provide energy for crypto mining, I was hoping he would be here today. For some reason, he is unable to join us, and we also have other people who are doing similar things that we want to invite. So thank you again. Now we want to go to you, Jeannie. Thank you so much for your patience.
Simon, can I just interject?
Yes,
Can
please.
you make this session so that when Jeannie is presenting, if anybody has questions for him, we could do that, because I know he has some appointments within the next 20 minutes and he has got to leave. So
yes, we can do that for sure.
All right. Okay.
Thank you, Simon. Thank you, Joshua. So let me try to address the earlier question regarding investment and.
Hey, Jeannie, this is Simon speaking. Could you get close to your mic just a little bit? I think it would sound really good, especially for the podcast recording.
How does this sound, Simon?
It's perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay, very good. So the space is growing tremendously. In the last year, 100 million people worldwide have joined in to the cryptocurrency world. And it's estimated within the next 12 to 16 months, there will be 1 billion people participating in the broader crypto space. So the opportunity is already enormous and growing at a tremendous rate. So from an investment standpoint, it's a terrific place to put your time and energy and focus. And there's a lot of wonderful uh, technological advances that are coming out of the entire space. I believe it was Kwasi or maybe Richmo who had pointed out some of the blockchain importance, the Web3 development, the non-fungible tokens development, the metaverse development, the broader changes to finance and the monetary system. So there are huge opportunities coming, and so for an investor, they need to see these things and see that this is an area of growth that is unprecedented, and so to participate in that is a tremendous opportunity. Where does mining fit into all of that? Well, in the proof of work systems like Bitcoin uses or Ethereum currently uses, it's necessary to secure the blockchain using the proof of work consensus mechanism. And this requires a hardware infrastructure, computers, usually specialized computers, to do the calculations to add the blocks and verify the blocks in the blockchain. So the mining process is literally what is securing the blockchain. And in order to do that, you have to have the hardware and the energy and the time to deploy that hardware in the process of verification and securing the chain. So in order to invest in crypto mining, you really are talking about investing in hardware, either directly or indirectly through hosted services or cloud mining or some kind of farming or staking, uh, so that you can possess or control some part of the hardware that is doing the consensus work and the validation work on the chain. So usually that means you're going to own some kind of a device. Usually it's like a GPU miner or an ASIC miner, but it could be as simple as just an unused desktop computer at your office. But at some point, you have to invest in that equipment. You have to either remotely invest through a cloud situation or a hosted situation where perhaps you don't have your own reliable power source, or you don't have good infrastructure. Maybe that makes more sense for you to invest in a cloud situation or a hosted situation. On the other hand, if you have access to a fairly reliable internet and a good source of power, you could directly invest in the equipment necessary to start the process of mining. And when you're mining, you're generally doing this continuously. You're doing it 24 hours a day, if possible, all the time, 7 days a week and 365 days a year. And the systems are working hopefully in a stable way where you don't have to spend a lot of time monitoring them. If you set them up properly and they run stable, you really only need to check in on them maybe a few minutes every day or every other day to make sure they're still operating normally and within their parameters and they're still producing. And typically, you're talking about spending a small amount on the electric cost and the management cost, but you're getting back in the rewarding process of solving the blocks and validating the blocks. You're getting a reward, which is typically several times more than you're spending. I can't remember who it was earlier who mentioned that they were mining on a Bitmain ASIC machine and earning $3 to $5 per day, but only spending something in the neighborhood of $2 a day on electric. So that's typically the case with most mining. You're earning several times what you're spending in electricity. And so it's also a continuous process that's happening while you might be going about your other business or your other activities. So if you're a student and you're busy studying, or if you run a farm or a business, maybe you haven't got a lot of time to spend. But crypto mining fits very nicely into a situation like that because it primarily is self-running and you only need a very small amount of time to manage the process. So I guess in conclusion, it's a huge opportunity, and it's not difficult to understand. Really, you can, with a short period of time, learn about this and participate. And you can also start very small. As I mentioned, maybe it's something as simple as starting some mining on a leftover computer at the office or your old laptop computer. You can begin. And that's one of the areas that Joshua and I are now exploring is how to help people, you know, begin the process of starting to invest, even in the smallest way.
Thank you, Jenny. We'll leave the mic open. Anybody can, chime in, ask questions. Feel free.
Yeah, Simon, thanks for the opportunity to ask a question. I had a question to Jean. In regards to compliance, when we talk about being tax compliant, one of the things that I am careful of doing is moving whatever mining benefits that I am getting in the Bitcoin mining out of my wallet into kind of have the actualized gains. What are some of the ways that maybe we could address this topic? Because then we are noting the advantages of getting capital. What about then the tax component? Especially I'm in Maryland, and so one of the things is, and I want to grow into mining Ethereum, but also at the same time, I want to be aware that Uncle Sam will be on the lookout. Maybe you can highlight on this briefly if there is any advice on how to go around this, Richmo.
Yes, thank you, Richmo. Yeah, the in the United States currently, the rules surrounding taxation on mining, at least currently, are that any earnings that you receive from the rewards of the mining process are recognized as